I didn't put any makeup on. Just for a minute. I forgot to tell you the end of the story yesterday. I told you a story about Mr. Ferguson. Um, I won't identify him closer than that, just in case somebody knows him from the church because he was very active. I think he was a deacon. Anyway, he's the one that came to my. I had an office that was out of the way and whatever, I was the head of the department. So what? One the good thing about the office was I had a sofa in there, and it definitely wasn't made. I ate a cookie at Harry's. It wasn't meant to sleep on, but I had lupus and I was really nauseous and dizzy. So anyway, so he was the one that was banging on the door like that. Well, you'll see when you get older. Hopefully, you'll recognize that when they come, people who wronged you will come back. They'll come to you in your dreams, and they will usually apologize. Mr. Ferguson, did he apologize? No, he let me know what kind of craziness he was trying to do. He was looking for me to be a kind of daughter in the office, which I think is already kind of funky. Hmm. Okay. Um. I would bring him everything, and I would say, "Oh, Mr. Ferguson, is this right? Oh, Jane. Oh, just about. I mean, he wasn't in a dream. He wasn't putting his arm around me, but he was being fatherly. Well, never said he was sorry. Had no conception of what he did to me, and it wasn't good. Um, between him and the woman who got her job from whatever, she was the girlfriend of the guy who was the head of the whole department. Um, uh, it was anyway. He just, I think my point. I don't think I know. It is that not every one of the people who attack you or make your life miserable will come and apologize. They'll come back. They will. He obviously died thinking he was right. Like, excuse me, I wasn't your daughter. I had a father. He was alive then. You were not going to be my father. I wasn't even Christian. Hey, I wasn't going to be. What kind of nonsense? There was no way you couldn't talk to him. So and obviously he wasn't listening. Um, I had a kind of similar thing with my parents' neighbor too. He didn't apologize either, but he really, really wanted to settle it. He had hit me. Um, this was the thing where my brother was being attacked by his kid and the kid next door, and it was okay with them. They didn't care. They said, "Oh, boys will be boys." Uh, everybody, kids need rules. They need to be helped. They need to be taught stuff. I have no idea what skibidi is. You just asked me what's my opinion on skibidi. What is it? I don't know what it is. Um, is it American? Is it English? Uh, Indian? Skibidi toilet. What? Skibidi? What is it? Skibidi toilet move. Romania. Toilet move. What is that? Skibidi toilet move Romania. Sigma boy. Skibidi toilet rizzing up baby Gronk in Ohio. That sounds like something I would not be interested in. Remember, I'm an old lady. Think of me like your extra grandmother. Does your grandmother know about Skibidi or baby Gronk in Ohio? Did you ever see Bandstand? In 1962, when your parents weren't born yet, I was on Bandstand. It was the big thing in that day, you know. I love dancing, and we used to go out to West Philly. Grandma, oh, shut up. You know that? Melissa's sister? I would tell you, except that they would probably do something bad. But I would tell you where to go and what to do once you got there. Because I am no sweetheart. I am a sweetheart to my grandchildren, but other than that, nah. I got a big mouth and I'm hard. Think about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and then see me as a little Ruth. Okay, I have no idea what Skibidi Risler. It's my brother's birthday. Can you sing? No. Happy birthday to him. I don't care about your donation. Sorry about that. My mother's neighbor came, didn't want to apologize for hitting me. You don't hit You don't hit children. You don't hit children at all, and especially when they're not your children. You don't hit them. It literally is against American law. I don't know about other countries, but I know it's not morally right. Anyway, this jerk. He was always a pig. I mean, my parents were educated. You can educate yourself. I'm not. You don't have to be. Please don't think I mean that. That to be educated you have to go to college. No, it doesn't mean that, because I watch videos now. There are things I don't know, and they're one of the most educated people I know did not go to college. He is extremely educated. Anyway, he did everything to get me to be friendly. Well, I was not. When I told him to go F himself. And I guess I still would, except that he did something so funny that I said, okay, that's enough. All right. So, okay, you were asking me stuff. I don't know what a hawk tua is. That sounds like it might be something indigenous, which means like native from here or any other country. I have no idea what skibidi toilets are. I suspect that it's some kid thing or young person thing, you know. My 13-year-old grandson likes this stuff. Sigma Boy Blumpkin, Drake and Diddy. I like Drake. I don't know anything about Diddy, but I do like Drake. And I think maybe that's it. Listen, Melissa's sister, get your butt off here. You don't belong here. If you don't like what I'm saying, get off. Get off. What you do when you have I call them kinksters. We have, most of the time you're going to find that you have good spirits around you. They're going to be your family. They might be neighbors who really loved you, who didn't have kids. But once in a while you get a trickster like that one in your house, in your apartment. You have free will. Every human has free will. And what you do is you say, I have free will, get the hell out of here. And I mean it. And you say it again, and as many times as you have to. You tell them to get out. And the only spirits who are allowed to be in your, close to you, are the ones who love you. They love you and they want the best for you. However you say that, it's right. And don't let them be in there. Don't let them get a foothold. I know they're funny sometimes. They try to get in and be funny, but then what happens is they turn nasty because they're a very low level spirit. Okay? Um, okay, if it's your brother's birthday, why don't you sing happy birthday to him? What's the, uh, Tua is a rice dish? Okay, good. Yeah, I think they're trolling too. Butter chicken and rice. I try not to eat any kind of living animals. I really hate it. German and Asian dish. Oh, rice and bacon. Bacon's like, and pork is like candy meat. And I eat it and I feel bad about it because they're intelligent animals. I hate it. It's not nice. I feel like we should not be eating animals. I don't eat beef at all, and I don't like eating chickens. They're animals, and they they love being loved. I really feel awful about it. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. Hawk 2 or whatever it is. Okay. I won't, I don't need to know. One of my grandchildren will tell me. Um, and I think really that's it. I just wanted to say what happened with Mr. Ferguson. Um, I don't know how they got rid of him. Eventually, they did get rid of him. But I told you that in Center City, they sat him with a desk. Can you imagine somebody, he was about 60, and they sat him at a desk with no telephone. This was a guy who was he was more than the head of a department. He was like the head of, what would be the administrator of more like three departments. And they sat him at a desk with no phone and no information. So if he wanted anything, he had to bring it. They had no cell phones at that time. So it tells you they really wanted to get rid of him. And when Trump left people in office, I kept saying, why don't they take away the guy's phone, stick him behind a plant somewhere or in a stairway? They can do that in civil service, which is a great thing because it's merit based. Um, they can do that stuff when they don't want you and they can't fire you. They can stick you in a stairwell, literally. Just put your desk in there and say this is your new office, and it is. So I wish they had done it when I worked there because dealing with him was so horrible. It's no wonder, you can get autoimmune diseases. Stuff comes out when it's just like with diabetes, um, heart attacks. Oh God, I don't know, so much stuff. Autoimmune diseases. They all can be triggered by stress. It's not your fault. Stress is just stuff happening around you, and you're trying to cope with it. And it can be every day the bus comes late, every day the train comes late. You can't find your shoes. Your little brother put your shoes someplace else. Your mom cleaned up and she put your shoes in the closet someplace. Um, you wanted to take a gift for somebody at work, and you put it on your side table, and mom saw it and she put it in the kitchen on the cabinet. I mean, that's called stress. And it's not, you didn't do anything. It's just life. Life happens. Um, and it brings out things like diabetes. Diabetes will get worse, and diabetes is really horrible. In America, people think, oh, diabetes doesn't kill anybody. Yes, it does. Absolutely. It ruins your eyes. It screws up your what do you call it? Your blood going through your body, and causes strokes, causes heart attacks. My brother he had some horrible thing with his eyes. I think he had not phlebitis. He had another thing with in his eyes. It was about 20 years ago. Um, it's causes seizures. My son's old girlfriend, first girlfriend, her mom died of seizures from diabetes. Mm. Um, I'm lupus. Lupus is worse with people of color, or people, Native Americans, um, Hispanic people, people of color. And thing is, it kills because it attacks any part of your body. That's lupus, and that isn't the worst autoimmune disease. There are many worse. So, as much as you try to get away from stress, it's we can't. Stress happens. Um, we had a whole bunch of things happen one after the other. Um, at the front of our house, suddenly was like, I don't know, an ocean. Water was coming through the bricks, and it was bad. It ruined the floor. And once that was fixed, let's see, about a month later, it started coming through the kitchen ceiling. And when when we went to fix that, it turned out we needed a new roof. Put the new roof on, looked in the attic, and there was a raccoon there. And this was all happening one after the other. So we had to get a company to come out and put out a cage for the raccoon to go in so they could move her to some other place, you know. And uh, then we have a glass storm door in front of the big wooden door that just shattered. We didn't know why or anything. It just shattered, and we had to get a new screen door. Um, think that might be the end. No. Then all of a sudden, the refrigerator wasn't working. Turned out to be some animal was chewing on the wires. What animal? It was another raccoon. That the new raccoon got in through the back wall. They just made a bigger hole. It was a hole that was supposed to take the hot air out from the dryer, and they just thought that was a good thing for them. So they came into our house that way. And now there's this big, it looks like there is this big cage thing sticking out of the wall there because there was you couldn't just do a narrow one. It had to be something really big to keep them out. Um, the last thing is I saw this white stuff. We we have a garage, and so I see this white stuff in the garage. What's that white stuff? It the raccoons and the squirrels were scratching um, the insulation off of the garage door. Like Jesus, what else is next? Then then um, they were trying to pull an opening in the garage. They wanted an opening in near the roof. That's probably squirrels. So the guy came to fix that, and he said, "Your roof on the garage is no good. You got to put up a new roof, or it'll collapse." So we did. We put a new roof on, and I just leave the garage open, so they can come in and they can sleep there. That's that's really okay. That's the way it is. The pigs need rights. They're smart animals. They can watch TV. I mean, I had a friend who had a pig. I think he lived to. I mean, he lived a long time, maybe like to 30 years. He was very, very smart. Uh, where does American freedom of speech come from? From the early signers of the Constitution. Don't you know that? What did you learn that in school? I don't know if pigs need eating rights. We shouldn't be eating them. Um, my scariest life experience, I think, dealing with the people around here, because that particular man put out a sign with a gun on it, and I knew that he meant he would kill me. Um, oh, a chat moderator! Yay! Oh my goodness, you have my undying thanks. Really, white stuff. Yeah. It was insulation. The garage door. I don't know. I think it's white, and inside it was white. I mean, who looks at the inside of the garage door? Not really. Read chat logs. How do you get chat logs? The story's done. That's all there was. Um, how do you get chat logs? I look at the whatever anybody answers, but I don't get hardly any. Please, if you liked the story or if you liked what I said, push the like button, and if you want, push the subscription button. I have a lot of subscriptions, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful anybody's watching this. I can't hardly imagine it. Well, you know what the scariest thing was? When I was little, they used to have trolleys, and when you're little, you're really little, and the trolleys were, oh God, they must have been like 12 feet tall, and they rolled along on the tracks. I don't know if you ever saw them because they did away with them during the 60s. Um, but I was kind of caught standing there and seeing the trolley up next to me. I think that was my scariest experience. I thought I was going to die. I thought the trolley was going to run right over me. Little. Okay. So that's it. The like button, and no, I'm not typing in Alpha Y. Alpha Sigma. I have no idea. I'm black. Well, I'm part Nigerian, so I'm glad to meet you. Are you American? Probably. Listen, we all change. We have many lives. This life, you could be black. Next life, you could be Cambodian. The life after that, you could be Irish, and then you could be Polish, and then you could be Guatemalan, and then you could be Chinese. We change every time we come to Earth. We change, and if you don't believe that, don't believe it. That's if you believe that this is all there is, good for you. If it makes you feel comfortable, good. Um, I don't know that knowing we go someplace, our energy lives on, and we literally wake up, and there are our family. And when we choose to come back, we can. If we choose to come back to Earth, we can come back to Earth. It's easier for us because we've been there. However, beings from all over the universe want to come here because it's a very hard planet. No matter how wonderful your life is, you're still going to have disappointments and problems, trauma. It's how it is. It's really a hard planet. People are miserable. They're nasty. We're not exactly. I'm no angel, and I know that you're not because of all, everything, because of all the nonsense that some of the people say. Um, it's funny to say hi, Nancy. One of my girlfriends, my closest girlfriend is Nancy. Anyway, um, yeah, we can choose to be born again, and I don't think we really get to choose what kind of person we're going to be because we want to learn. So if you're white in Mexico this time, You're not going to want to be white in Mexico again if you're coming back here to learn. I think my life right before this, I was a Polish farm woman, and my parents took in Jewish people. They took in three, and the Nazis shot us. They shot my parents, the Jewish people, and they shot me. And I wanted to know, like, well, what is this big deal about Jews? So that's why I'm me right now. Um, I think it's great because you don't have to do anything. No praying. I mean, it's really easy. I'm just, amazed. But, um, you know, uh, I was Polish in that one. I was Spanish before that, died in 1937 when the Nazis bombed. They bombed the only Spanish subway, the only time they did. And I died in that. Um, my twin sister is now my granddaughter. Things are it's complicated and it's not what you think. It's not horrible at all. And if you do find out about this, if you look into it, there's something called the Akashic Records, which doesn't exist as a thing. I don't think anything exists as a thing. It's a body of all of our experiences when we were born, when we died, all the times, all the lives. And there are spirits who take care of it. I know it sounds wild, but if you're interested in it, you meditate and eventually you find out about your own guides and then you can ask the guides in there. Actually, the more you meditate, the more you start finding out about your previous lives yourself. When you do something, you realize, oh my God, I know it's like deja vu. I did this before. When did I do it? And you realize, um, incidentally, if there are nations with which you feel close, or you have some kind of interest in, or you were always drawing people dressed like those people, that indicates you probably lived there at one time. And it's one way to see. Okay. Um, there's a lot. I mean, it's um, psychic development is unending. There's so much. People talk to beings from other planets. Um, Even astronomers admit that there are other beings. Anyway, so I want to go find out about. I'm learning about India during the end of the what is it? The end of the not civilization. It's before. It's pre-civilization. I'm interested. Um, the professor was just talking about the stories and the poems and the stuff that I didn't know. I can't think of the name now, but that I didn't know that's what they were. So, okay, that is about it. Um, I'm glad to see you. There certainly are a lot. Ooh, you're the Jesus of I actually talk to Jesus. I know Jesus. I like that. There's a word for that. Put that in your hat and smoke it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. You have sorbet, stage through. You know what that is, stage three? Oh, you meant to say diabetes. There are no stages. Do you mean that you have really terrible diabetes? Um, You're funny. My brother has a pump, and it makes life easier. All right, kiddos. I don't know that you're all kiddos, or kiddups. Um, you seem young. I think the older people are keeping their mouths shut. All right. If you want to let me know what the chat logs are, please do. I'm interested. I don't know what they are. Okay. Have a good night. Look at this. This is my hand. Woo, woo, woo. Naked hand. All right. Have a good night. Going to find out about stuff. Good night. Nothing happening. All right. Oh my goodness.